And welcome back to episode 57 of Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson. Today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing an over-the-phone interview with somebody that is familiar with the Bank of Oklahoma tennis tournament back in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where I grew up, that I went to for 10 years, from the early 80s up until 89. And he was very instrumental in starting that in Tulsa at the time. So here we go, and let's see what happens. Thank you for joining me back on Tennis Volley Talk. Today I'm doing an over-the-phone interview with a staple that used to be a staple in Tulsa, Oklahoma with the VOK tennis tournament way back in the day in 82 on, something like that. But it's Jack Thiemer, and he was one of the influential people with putting it together and helping with it and doing it for the many years that he did it. So just want to thank you, and Jack, thank you for joining me on Tennis Volley Talk today.
Sure, Brian. Great.
So,
and we started in 78. Just
78, okay.
That. Yeah, I started that tournament in 78 at a club I built, Shadow Mountain Racquet Club. It was early on the ATP Colgate Grand Prix circuit.
Yes.
Started in 78.
And that was the men and women at the time, the whole draw.
It was a beginning of, really an organized professional ATP, which had just formed a year or two before. And they were the ones sort of assigning dates because they were, directing players to your field. So that's what we did. Lynn Eaton from the Bank of Oklahoma, as chairman, and I flew down to Dallas and met with a guy named Bob Briner, who's long forgotten, and Doug Chuck, and applied for a date on the ATP circuit.
Oh my gosh.
That was 77 when we met with him, I think, but 1978.
Oh, that is just amazing, because I actually was in WCT, watched the Borg and Vilas match too, in 76, I think it was, and everything. But that was a fun match to watch too. But so basically, the kind of thing is what kind of got you in with the tennis bug within yourself to get into tennis?
Yeah, I had grown up in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and we had very active junior tennis program. We sort of won state every year, and we had a coach that motivated us. And I played all through juniors and in around the Sur Valley area, and was given offered a scholarship, one of them at the University of Oklahoma. And so because I was from Oklahoma, I chose to go to the University of Oklahoma on a tennis scholarship in 1966, fall of 66.
Oh my gosh!
So so I was actively playing at that point, and I after I graduated from undergraduate school in 1970, I along with Colin, as a matter of fact, built the first indoor-outdoor tennis club in Oklahoma, in Redlands Racquet Club in Norman, Oklahoma, while I was in law school. So that got me sort of into the whole notion of building something that hadn't really existed in Oklahoma before, which was indoor tennis. And I was in law school, so everybody expected me to go on and be a lawyer.
Yeah, with that, about the time he was graduating college, I was starting my tennis career right in junior high school at the time. And with that, so, he was right, starting his kind of career in doing, with the tennis club and starting to get into that aspect of it as I was starting my tennis career back in junior high, like I said. So I like about 68 is when I started, and then I've just continued it all the way through the years for over 50 years now that I've continued my tennis career going with that. So, but for you YouTubers, just I hope that you do like what you're seeing, and please continue watching, subscribe, like, comment if you do. And I will be having Racket of the Day later on here. And for you podcasters, if you do want to take a look at it, please do like, subscribe, and make a comment if you want to. And if you want to see the Racket of the Day, be sure to go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and you can certainly take a look at the racket.
And then I was asked by a group from Tulsa who owned land at Shadow Mountain, 61st Memorial, if you know that area.
No, very much so.
To come over and build a much larger club on 10 acres on 61st Street. So, by that time I decided I was going to keep the tennis business in my life, and I agreed to move over and build it. And so in 1974, we actually opened that club. And then.
So 74 is when I graduated high school. So that's when Shadow Mountain opened in 74 when I graduated. One of the premier tennis clubs of Tulsa that was around. A very nice club to go and see and play at too.
By circumstance, it went quite well in the 70s as far as membership went. I decided to build a 5,000-seat stadium court just out of a whim.
Just out of a whim.
And basically, the ATP was just forming. I knew a lot of the players that had joined early on, and so Lynn Eaton was a great impetus, the chairman of the Bank of Oklahoma at the time.
Oh, sure.
And I knew he would be in favor of trying to figure out how we could get the tournament to Tulsa that had the best players. So, we flew down there, met with them, and they had signed us a date. At that time, they were hungry to keep as many jobs open for the players as they could, so it was very easy. You had to make $100,000 minimum commitment prize money, and they would put you on the circuit.
On the circuit. Oh my gosh.
That's the impetus behind why I did it.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And to get the pros that you've got, I mean, by all rights.
So,
a lot of
part of that was because Jack Hughes, my first tennis pro, who was from Muskogee as well, had played Jimmy Connors for years, and as had my brother.
Oh, okay.
The Missouri Valley section.
Oh, sure.
And so the second year, the first year, Eddie Gibbs came and was sort of assigned by the ATP, and he was ranked number 1 or 2 then.
Yeah, back
then. And then the second year, Jimmy agreed to come and play, and that really
exponential
rounded up the field, and he was number 1 in the world, and did not play Los Angeles, which was Jack Kramer's competing tournament on the day. And so it caused quite a stir in the tennis director's meetings.
In the tennis community.
Got to Tulsa instead of LA. So that was a big deal.
Yeah, by all rights, a lot of those tennis players, those kind of tennis players coming to Tulsa, of all things, back then, oh my gosh.
Quite fun, and we entertained them quite a bit. I remember that each year we would give them Stetson cowboy hats.
That's right.
They would talk about those all year during the Lyceum tournaments. They'd all talk about their cowboy hats.
Oh, absolutely. And I remember so vividly being able to, because I lived with my parents at the time, just like a few blocks away from Shadow Mountain Club. And I remember, going and watching the practices before the tournament and everything, and then being able to see so many pros and everything. And even at one time, Vince Van Patten was there too.
Oh, sure. And there was and that was the thing about having a tournament in a club like Shadow Mountain. All the players were very accessible. They hung around practice.
Yeah, and that is true. The players were very accessible because it was such a kind of an intimate kind of a setting with that, very close on the stadium court and everything. And you could just go there, watch practice, and very accessible to watch the pros practice and see how they were hitting and everything. And then, of course, they had the little mini celebrity players that were there, like Vince Van Patten, and actually Dick Van Patten, his dad, was there watching his son play. And then, Gene Hackman was there, and a few other stars that were in the movie star business there, which was fun to watch and see also with that too. But yeah, you YouTubers, I just hope that you do subscribe, like, and make a comment. Hope you do like over the phone interviews. Let me know. I'd like doing that. It's always fun to get back into my roots of Tulsa and talking about Tulsa tennis is what I like doing too.
People would come up and watch them. And, that was one of the, in the early part of the circuit, that was one of the benefits of the smaller tournaments.
Oh, yeah. And what an intimate setting with that stadium that you had there. To be able, no matter where you were sitting in it, you still had a great seat, no matter where you were.
That was great. That was the fun of it. It was intimate, as you say. It was an intimate setting. We had two stadium courts. We had a second stadium court, so we could play two matches. But the big court, we had, it's like all those corporate sponsors we had. We never could have done it without Phillips Petroleum and some of the other Mapco and some of these other people.
Oh, absolutely.
That sponsored us. That was key to the whole thing. And Lynn Eaton was very much a big tennis enthusiast, and I have to give him lots of credit for having a vision to back my idea.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. and to actually then have it to come fruition with you. To be able to do that, and then plus being able to play the celebrity doubles when you did in the tournament itself.
We did that. We had Gene Hackman. We had a number.
Grant Goody. Grant Goody was a good tennis player too. Gene Hackman was, Vince Van Hatten, of course. And with that, it was just kind of like, amazing, because here I am just watching practice stuff, and I'm seeing some of these stars. It's amazing.
Well, that was the fun of it, and it was just, it all was organic, all organic. We didn't set out to know what was going to happen as far as fields and attendance. And, being able to increase our prize money, which we did constantly over the next. We ran it for 10 years, but then
Yeah, ran it for 10 years, and it just kept growing each year with the tennis players that came. For the first, I think for the first 5, 6, 7 years or so, it was a full-blown, full draw of players that came and they played in the tournament. And then later years, then they cut it down to like an eight-man draw, and then played it out that way with some of the players there too. But always good. Most of the time it was good weather. There was one year that was just downright cold. You had to wear jackets and it was cold. But not very often it was, because it was held during the summer, during close to the summer months, and where it was warm. With that. But like I said, you YouTubers, if you do make a comment, and if you do like me doing over the phone interviews, which I really like doing, let me know. Comment and like, subscribe. I will be doing Racket of the Day pretty soon. You'll get to see that. For you podcasters, if you want to take a look at the racket, be sure and subscribe, like, and take a look at my racket, Racket of the Day, on my YouTube channel there, Tennis Volley Doc.
Frankie really ran it because I had gone to Colorado and was building stuff there, and Lindsay was my pro, and Lindsay's training was the key to the whole thing.
Oh yeah, he was. He just had it all.
He was a wonderful, wonderful man.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Players all loved him.
Oh God.
He organized. He and a guy named Joel Woodburn, who ran all the volunteers, made it happen, really.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And some of the stories when I was talking to Colin Robertson about him and Lindsay traveling all over Europe in a car that he bought, and going to tournaments and everything was just amazing in itself.
That's true. Colin, he was really the leader of the pack, if you will, in my mind. Colin was really not only a great player, but also was very I played doubles a lot in the Missouri Valley. He was really sort of the godfather of all that crew, you know.
Oh, absolutely, he was. And just the amazing stories that I had, talking to him and to be able to have him on my podcast here was amazing in itself, because it was just like literally I had called him up and he goes, yeah, let's set it up, and boom, boom, it happened. And I just kind of figured, and then I figured that, what's going down, and I figured, well, gosh, why not I get Jack Thiemer on here and let him talk about some of those good tennis stories and everything too, and how that all came about to have such a wonderful tournament as the VOK for so many years. And I'm sure Connor's, well, of course, you've probably heard Connor's advantage on the podcast, but him and his son Brett talk about a lot of stuff. And I'm sure Jimmy would remember the VOK very, very vividly.
Oh, sure. We live in the same town, California.
Oh, you do? Well, I wouldn't mind if Jimmy happened to hear about tennis volley talk by one odd reason or not, but
he's got his own thing going,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Unto himself, yeah.
Oh, sure. But no, I was, with the opportunity to be able to, and then to be able to talk with Cliff Price and hear his stories and what he did and how he got started, just amazing in itself too. And with the Tulsa connection that I grew up in Tulsa, and everything, and so many pictures that I have of the VOK over the years, of the 10 years that it was in, I was there pretty much every year taking pictures.
Well, that's wonderful. I still have programs that were bought on eBay of the tournament. I was given one for Christmas about 2 years ago. It was an old VOK program with Jimmy in it and all the stuff. It was something with all the player profiles.
Oh,
I particularly loved Eddie Tibbs when he came and played with us a few times.
Oh, gosh,
I thought Eddie was just one of the really good guys.
Oh, yeah.
On the circuit.
And also,
fun guy, a lot of fun.
Sure. And then also one of the premier tennis referees of all time.
Oh, yeah.
That they had at the VOK tournament.
Frank.
I know. It was just like unbelievable to have him there. And I have a picture of him too, which is really kind of cool too. So,
And that's actually talking about Frank Hammond, which was one of the most premier tennis referees of that time, and did several Ilie Nastase matches at the U.S. Open, and had his run-ins with Ilie Nastase and stuff like that at the U.S. Open and everything. But what a great tennis referee Frank Hammond was in his own right.
Oh, sure. And doesn't it feel nice to be back in Tulsa for a little bit, just to kind of breathe that Tulsa?
Every once in a while, I have family still in Muskogee. We're good friends.
Oh, sure.
I still have a piece of property here that I'm working on, so that's part of this trip. I don't get back nearly as much, but living in Santa Barbara, it's hard to get back this way.
Oh,
my brother's now moved to Texas, and so he's my only really immediate relative. So, and he's a tennis player at OU as well, and top junior player in the country at one time.
Do you still get out and play?
Played at OU as well.
Oh my gosh! Do you still get out and play?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good for you.
I play 2 or 3 times a week in Santa Barbara with friends.
Oh, good for you.
And it's very, very important that I keep moving.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Doing that as long as I'm able to. So
absolutely.
I take it seriously still.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But no, that is just so wonderful, just to be able to reminisce with, and then plus talking about good old, the mainstay of now LaFortune Park that has really grown exponentially with everything, and having the main hub now of tennis tournaments throughout Tulsa, being at LaFortune Park now, it is just wonderful.
Oh, it's a great facility. I've only stopped by once to look it all over, but it's just extraordinary and wonderful for the community.
Oh, it is absolutely amazing in itself just to be able to have a little bit of your time with taking the time out of your schedule to actually be able to talk to me and have this reminiscent of Tulsa and the BOK tournament and having that knowledge that you had and how you got that going.
I got very fortunate because I was chosen by the other the smaller tournaments under 150,000 to represent the 10 communities in the country that had tournaments to the men's North American Tournament Directors Council. So that was a separate experience because of BOK that was really, really satisfying. I served on there as the youngest guy by far with Kramer and Donald Bell and all the managers, the IMG guys. And that was a really great experience for a 30-year-old kid.
Oh, well, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I love that. And that's the outgrowth of BOK.
Oh, absolutely. It is.
By the other dozen tournament directors to be their representatives. So that was a real plus as far as excitement and fun to me because I got to regularly meet with all these other, kind of legends of the game. Kramer and some of the other guys that ran tournaments.
Sure. And then you kind of got to learn a little bit more how to better do tournaments too through the years with that.
We held a tournament after we started BOK in the early 80s. We did a tournament at my project in Beaver Creek, Colorado. And oftentimes 8 of the top 10. Matt Phelander's first tournament in the United States was at Beaver Creek, Colorado. US Open that he won.
Wow.
When he was 17.
Oh my gosh.
Matt's up to playing, and he comes to Beaver Creek, and then he ended up having a place there in my project for about 15 years.
Wow, that is amazing. To be able to
He
have
was
that.
really young. It was fun.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Sure it was. And to what tennis knowledge he has too, with that and stuff. But no, I just want to just appreciate you being able to take the time out of your day to be able to be on Tennis Volley Talk with me. And to give
It continues well for you.
yeah, well, I'm my second.
Tulsa?
Yeah, I'm in my second year, so I do make it to Tulsa a few times. So I make it to Tulsa a few times, and I get some tennis in, so that's okay.
That's good. That's good. Well, I'm headed downtown to a planning commission meeting here in Tulsa today, so I appreciate being able to talk to you.
Well,
I'm going to have to go get in my car and head out.
There you go. Well, I do again appreciate it so much, Jack, and you have a great day
on the rest of your podcast. I hope it's going great for you.
Yeah, well,
okay, thank you.
Welcome to listen to it too.
Thanks, I will.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Bye-bye, Jack.
Yes.
Thus was the interview with Jack Thiemer, which I think it was really fun. It was a fun interview. Got to learn a little bit more about how the Bank of Oklahoma tournament got started with that and all. And so it was really a fun interview to do with him. So, like I said, you YouTubers, please comment, like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like the what I do with over the phone interviews, please let me know on that. What can I do to do anything better? What would you like to hear? Leave me a comment. You podcasters, you're going to see Racket of the Day here, or hear Racket of the Day pretty soon. So if you want to take a look at the Racket of the Day, please subscribe, like, and make a comment, and go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk. But with that, right now, we have what is the Davis Cup racket. And this racket is Davis Cup. Is what it is, and it's actually Wright Ditson actually racket is what it is, by Wright Ditson, and that would be the symbol of Wright Ditson back in the day. Of course, then the wooden handle there has the brass screw. So this racket here, now this racket was actually looks like it had and was restrung with old nylon strings back in the day sometime or another. Somebody decided to take the cat gut or cow gut out of it and just do a regular string job with nylon. But with this there, very good wood craftsmanship. This racket here is probably around in the it is in about the mid 30s, early 30s to late 40s in that era with that racket, and very good. It's actually Wright Didson makers in the USA. And Wright Didson actually was founded in 1871 by by a baseball Hall of Famer, George Wright, and then a Chicago business or Boston businessman, Henry Didson. Now, Henry Didson was the one that had the passion for tennis, so that's why he then got into tennis. They actually had a tennis, they did hold a tennis tournament back in, started in 1881. Newcastle, New Hampshire in 1881, which a lot of players actually did come to and play, a lot of the pros back in the day with that. But yeah, 1871 is when Wright Didson was founded. They made premier with, they were the preluders of the tennis, golf, and baseball equipment. But they also got into the tennis rackets all the way, and it was the premier gold standard for their rackets. You know, like the Davis Cup is just kind of the brand name of what they called it, is the Davis Cup racket. Like I said, with the Tad Davis rackets, you had the Imperial Deluxe rackets with that. So that's kind of what you had with that, and that's kind of the brand name of what they had, the Davis Cup racket. For the Wright Didson model rackets, which, like I said, they were considered the gold standard of the rackets back in the day, from late 1800s all the way through probably up in the 40s and 50s is when they were still doing it with the Wright Didson rackets and everything like that. So very nice wood racket, very sturdy wood, very nice straight frame still with that. So, very, very nice racket all the way around. And I like the gold letters that it has on it, the Davis Cup, and then the Davis Cup there for, for tennis and everything. And then the Wright Didson symbol is what the Wright Didson symbol looks like back in the day. So very nice racket all the way around, very pretty. And the little cloth markers on that, just kind of the way it was made and the way they made it, very sturdy. A big handle though too. I think that's a 4.5 or more. So it's a very big handle. But you podcasters, if you do want to take a look at what I'm talking about with that racket, go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, make a comment, like, subscribe with that. So, and you YouTubers, I hope you did like that, and like the over the phone interview, like, subscribe to my channel, Tennis Volley Talk, make a comment, whatever you might want to hear with that and everything. So, with that, I will be trying to get more over the phone interviews and see where it goes. And I do thank you for listening to me. And I hope everybody has a good week. And if you're playing outside, keep on playing outside, keep on hitting that ball. And if you're playing inside, well, just keep on doing it until the outside weather and the summer circuit starts. With that. So thank you again very much for listening to me. And with that, everybody have a very good week coming. And thank you very much.